we've had unabated migration into this country. And, people know the facts and figures around this, like who's coming here, mostly fighting age young men, right? And the other thing too, this is something that I think is worth discussion, is this growing noise about houses and squatters.
Ha! Right. And, the latest story, right, in Queens, the woman in Queens, I'm like,
yeah.
Did you see on Twitter, it showed up? I actually have it pulled up here. Not because I wanted to change the subject, but I just happened to go, somehow I want to talk about this if we do get to it. And the fact that this is just one story. Like we both know there's hundreds more, but
why don't you play it?
Thank you. Screen sharing it. Did you see this?
I did see that.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me play it for you real quick.
Sure. No, do the woman first.
The woman. Wait. Oh, because you know how Kyle Rittenhouse was also, but it had nothing to do with. What woman? Wait, tell me who is.
Woman in New York who got her place.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Okay, hold on 1 second. Got it. I think I got, well, at least this is the first thing here I'm going to share. Can you see?
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
All right, let's play it.
I have video of you. Who are these people? Figure out the situation. But they're in my house, man. Relax. No.
To understand how this day ended.
We need the police right away.
With multiple 911 calls and arrests, we have to start at the beginning.
Adele, the hardest question is, how do you say your name?
We met Adele Andaloro outside the home her parents left her in Flushing, Queens. She's in the process of selling it.
No, he locked it.
But she's been locked out. She claims squatters moved in on February 6th and refused to leave.
What's it like being here knowing you can't go inside of your own home?
It's enraging. It really is.
In New York, squatters have rights after 30 days.
By the time that someone does their investigation and they do their work and their job, we'll be well over the 30 days, and this man will have stolen my home. And now she's back.
Just after wrapping up our interview, a woman showed up.
What are you doing in the house? Are you renting this house? Why are you here?
She unlocked the front door, saw our cameras, and took off.
This is a different one.
It's open. Let's go in the house. It's open.
Adele and her daughter, with the property deed in hand, went inside.
This is my furniture. These are my curtains.
She didn't just find her belongings inside.
There's a man sleeping right there. Get out of my house.
She found 2 men.
How long have you lived here?
I moved in about 2 days ago.
They've called the police on me, and I've called the locksmith. I didn't come in illegally. The door was open.
Police started interviewing neighbors and looking for documents.
Do you have something that shows that you've been here for more than 30 days?
They took the man who told me he had been renting for 2 days out in handcuffs.
They got one out.
And escorted the other guy off the property.
Now you're afraid to come out.
I'm not coming out. This house is empty. This is my home. My locksmith is on the corner waiting to change my locks. And that's not fair. It's not fair that I, as the homeowner, should be having to go through this.
How you doing?
Minutes later, a locksmith showed up. But police gave her a warning before they left.
I may end up in handcuffs today if this man shows up here and says that I have illegally evicted him. I said to them, let him take me to court the way I've been told to take him to court. But today, I'm not leaving my house.
Less than 10 minutes after police left and the locks were changed.
Do you know, Robert, do you know her background?
The man who claims to be the...
Is she Hispanic?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's the culture. I could feel her. I wasn't like profiling her the way she looked. It's the way she's talking. It's like, no. Like in Espanol, she would be like, no. I know, I could go to court.
The one actually leasing the house shows up.
Call the police again.
With the other guy, police took off the property.
Do you see this? This guy just literally broke down my door. Broke through myself and my daughter to get in here. This guy just forced himself into my house. No, he did not. Yes, he did. No, he did. And so did you. You broke through the front door.
Officer.
The man called the police on her.
So why is it that I have to leave and he doesn't have to leave?
Because technically he can't be kicked out. You need to go to court.
They consider this a landlord-tenant issue. And by law, it has to be handled through the housing court,
this is not by accident?
Police.
This is by design. There's no fucking way a law is made for this. And I know this because, I've been an interpreter in court for specifically landlord-tenant shit. And every state's a little different, but I'm telling you straight up, this was put, like their orders, Okay, sorry. Let me shut this.
If you own
Let me tell you about how one of the times I stopped interpreting in court when in Philadelphia, it was about 10 years ago, started saying that if you're standing at a corner of a 7-Eleven, any corner, and you're doing nothing wrong, we can arrest you because we just put a new law in. This wasn't an old law, a new law that because of all the cop killings, then we have a right now. We can arrest you for no fucking reason. And I'm in this room with 300 people and I'm interpreting for like 3 or 4 people that are Spanish speaking. And it was so appalling to me how they did the whole thing. I was like, there's nothing legal about this or right about this. And I told the agency, I'm like, never call me again to go interpret for this shit. And they were like, why? What happened? And I told them, like, this is fucking disgusting. They're literally bragging. Oh, since you killed a few cops, we can just come down for no reason, arrest you, and you're fucked. Like, no rights. And then this kind of shit, which I've... getting off topic. Sorry, Robert.
this house, you would not want her inside.
I don't own this.
Exactly,
Yes.
she does.
Yes, but then once again, you should know how the law works.
I do know how it works.
There's rules to the...
Look, there's rules!
And send me to civil court.
He says he signed a lease in October, but wouldn't tell us with who.
Where is it?
Longer than that.
Show us the proof.
But who are you for me to show? I showed it to cops.
Dan with Channel 7 News. If you don't want to show it, you don't want to show it.
Come here, brother. I like that.
I would like to see it.
He didn't show me a lease.
This is a bill.
A bill for work he says he had done to the house. He didn't show police a lease
Oh!
police department
I didn't
doesn't have
even
the
go
lease.
that far
He's
in the
got no
video,
documentation.
Robert.
Just Bill.
Oh.
So Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
Being arrested.
For what?
For being in my...
Robert,
being in
do
my-
you see the sweater she's wearing? Do you see the cross there? Robert, are you still here? Did I lose you?
Yeah, I'm here. I can't see it. It's too small.
Okay, let me make it bigger.
Have the lease?
No.
He's got no documentation.
Just Bill's.
So Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
I'm pausing. Watch as she turns.
For what?
Look at this X Hebrew letters.
It's a Z,
I'm
isn't
not-
it? It says Z.
No, because it goes further here and down here.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's no such thing as coincidence.
For being in my own home.
Ooh.
And where's your lease?
And that maroon color. Okay, I'm sorry.
She's fighting the house. It's not her house anymore.
My deed
That's
is
what
current.
How is it not her house?
Arrested for
What do you mean?
unlawful-
What? Robert! How is it not her house anymore? See how people can just say shit? It's not her house anymore. Oh.
Eviction.
Yeah. Well,
She
so
changed the locks and I made
Go ahead, Robert. Go ahead.
no. So the reason why I'm bringing this up
Oh, I love that you did.
is because when you look at the chart of the United States, the fourth house of the United States is Aries. And the fourth house is the home.
That's
Right.
right. That's right.
It's the home. It's where you grow up. You absorb your parental emotional influences and values.
Right.
So this eclipse, in addition to coming through Texas and cutting northeast, theoretically is going right through the fourth house of the United States,
Mm-hmm.
which gets into this whole idea of the home and ownership. And when you look at that transaction, that is ownership by force. That person forced themselves into that home, right? So the opposite of that would be Libra. Libra is the opposite of Aries, right?
Right.
So what
right.
do you do with Libra? You have a contract. Libra is about two people coming into contract with one another. You and I are having a Libra experience right now. You asked me to be in the show. I said yes. That's a contract, right? Aries is not about a contract. Aries is the barbarian storming the gates.
It's true. My parents got separated. My mother changed the locks to the restaurant, to their business, and the house. And very shortly after, we're talking hours, the judge says, no, you can't just do that. My mother's an Aries. It's just so funny because she really thought, yep, I don't need to do anything. It's so crazy you're saying this. Go ahead. Sorry.
So this eclipse, again, is telling a story. It's telling a story about the things that we hold theoretically sacred and, dear to our homes, which are our homes. And we're watching essentially homes being overthrown, right?
Yep.
By force. The laws are tools, not for justice. That's true. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But if you play that other clip.
Yeah, let me play because this one.
Other clip, what the other clip does is it connects the concept of what we're talking about with the home and the stream, not the stream, the torrent of human flesh coming into this country. So
I'm going to make it bigger because that way you guys can see the subtitles because the guy's speaking in Spanish. Obviously, I understood him. And I'll give him, if you want, I'll give you my 2 cents is that one thing is to translate the actual words, but part of being an interpreter is interpreting exactly what he means. The words alone is not interpreting. Do you get what I'm saying? So the subtitles does not tell you. So we'll watch it. We'll hear it. And thank you, Robert. Here we go. Oh, wait. I'm clicking on the... Go ahead. There we go. I might need to refresh this. I'm going to refresh it. Oh, please tell me I didn't lose it. Okay, here we go. There we go.
Mi gente, he pensado invadir una casa en United States, ya que me enteré que existe una ley que dice que si una casa no está habitada, podemos expropiarla. Capichi, muchachos, aquí en United States también se aplica la de invasión de terreno. Y creo que ese es
I love the accent, Robert. United States. We gotta laugh, okay?
será mi próximo negocio. Invadir casas abandonadas, ya que me he buscado unos códigos con mis amigos africanos y me dijeron que ya llevan como 7 casas expropiadas. Y como dice el dicho, papi, hay que buscar la vuelta. Y la vuelta ahorita mismo es invadir casas, ya que nos encontramos en situación de calle y es la única manera que tenemos para no vivir en la calle y no ser una carga pública. Capichi, la ley dice...
Carga pública, are you fucking kidding me? Did you read that part about so we're not a public burden?
Yeah.
Wait till I translate. What?
Dice que las casas abandonadas, deterioradas y que esté en mal estado.
Was that house deteriorated in bad shape? No, shut the fuck up.
Podemos llegar y repararlas, vivir en ella y si podemos venderlas, hasta pedir créditos con ella. ¿Qué dicen ustedes?
Okay, let me just say, I want to hear what you have to say, and anybody in the live stream, or again, guys, feel obviously comment, share this content. But as an interpreter in court for people that squatted, and listen, just because I'm an interpreter or I was an interpreter, specifically language of Spanish, doesn't mean that all the squatters are Hispanic speaking, or, of Hispanic descent, right? Because there's French interpreters, Russian interpreters, you know what I'm saying? So there's squatters of all age, all races and cultures and languages, okay? So this is, to me, this is not specific Because remember, he mentioned the Africans in the video, which is true.
Yeah.
But the thing is that there was a woman who moved to Florida. She had a property manager. First of all, I got thousands of stories, but just this one. She goes to Florida, has a property manager managing her property. I guess he didn't do his job. Long story short, no, I take it back. This specific story was these tenants that had been there for like 20, almost 30 years. And they would fix things. And, typically you fix something and the landlord either takes it off your rent, you show them a receipt, right? Or they reimburse you, whatever the agreement is. They just assumed when she was ready to sell the house that they weren't going. So different type of squatters of these, of people coming in, like he's saying, we don't want to be a public burden. But the fact that he mentioned like, well, if we have to fix it, that's literally something that's been going on way before the border invasion, where people feel entitled that even if the landlord took money off their rent and everything for the repairs with proven receipts, they still felt emotionally attached. Are you feeling me? And that's the thing about this video, that I don't care what you read or if you want to, cut down on every word, his sentiment, the emotion that he's literally saying, if I'm an interpreter, yes, I'm going to interpret word for word what he just said, but I'm going to say it in English the way the words that you're seeing as a subtitle is different. In fact, if I played it again and I told you how I would translate the emphasis of we don't want to be a public burden, it almost sounds like not too bad. Even if you're looking at him and you don't need to know the language to understand the guy's attitude, you could sense it, right? You don't have to be a psychic to sense it, right? We all have, emotional intelligence, whether we're aware of it or not. But he literally is like, I do believe that he doesn't want to be a public burden in the sense that he's like letting people know, look, we're not the enemy. We're not trying to ruin your neighborhoods. We're not trying to necessarily be the aggressors or thugs, gangsters, whatever. But he's saying that we're alone. Nobody cares about us. We already know, especially if we're illegal. And here's a loophole. But what I didn't like is that his emotion in the video was, we're out. We're going to fucking fight to death.
Yeah, I think the word invasion is probably pretty clear. And he uses it at the beginning of the video.
But then he says we don't want to be a public burden.
No, I get it.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be treated like a piece of shit on the street. I get it. But the fact that army nature, talk about combative, Aries. Okay.
Yeah.
I can go on, but
he also looks like he could be a drag queen.
You're right. Put some makeup on that pretty boy.
Oh,
yeah.
He's
with
ready
the
to
bald
go.
head, little wig.
Yeah. So again, just to do the astrological math, right? Where is the eclipse coming from? It's coming from the south.
Yes.
It comes right in from Sinaloa, land of the cartel, comes through Texas. What is the fourth house of the United States? It is Aries. Right. So
that's true, right? Because we're a Cancer country, right? July 4th.
Right.
What's America's ascendant?
The theoretical rising sign of the United States is Sagittarius.
That's what I was going to say. Go ahead.
So it's not a perfect, whole sign chart.
Yeah.
So part of United States fourth house, I believe, starts off in Pisces, but Aries is in there. Right, Aries is in there. So the eclipse is coming through the fourth house of the United States. And this is going to be an evolving story. Now, there's a number of different things going on. Obviously, since we're still in the ongoing stages of a cultural and political revolution, and we are.
Yeah, yeah.
If people don't understand that, you better get it fast.
Yes.
And that all started in the summer of 2020. And they started to tear down the statues and burn and loot. And then an election evaporated right before our very eyes. And the theoretical candidate that most of us believe won was not allowed to win that election.
That's right.
And this is what you call the overthrow of the government. So it's been ongoing. So when you go back and look at the Bolshevik Revolution, like the Bolshevik Revolution doesn't happen overnight. It culminates in 1917, but it starts a few years before that.
That's right.
So
That's right.
when you see what's happening here, this is not something that's indistinct. It goes back to 2020 and what happened in 2020, in the summer of 2020. This is ongoing. And one of the things that obviously the communists cannot stand is personal property rights.
That's right.
So this is a very bold, breach of an institution that in this country we hold dear to our hearts, to be able to own property and for it to be secure in our sanctuary, right? So these are the barbarians at the gates. And this is exactly what's happening. And this eclipse, again, mirrors the exact thing that we're talking about. The other thing that's really interesting and kind of went under the radar is that there was a major change in the commission structure of realtors recently, like within the last, I think, week. And I actually ran into the guy who was our buying agent. He helped us find this place. And I talked to him, and we talked a little bit about this, the change of the commission structure in real estate. And I said, well, how's that going to work for you? And he said, well, it'll be okay for me because I'm established and we negotiate commissions anyway. I said, well, what about people that aren't established or are part-timers? He said, they're fucked. Right. So that's another kind of affront, right, on not just property rights, but people who are in the